Hello guys and welcome back. My name is Paul and this is my sports channel. And just 2 days ago I published a video on my channel about Kirill Kaprizov, currently of course the front runner for the Calder Trophy in the NHL, and that video actually did really well. So that was my best performing video in my channel history. So I decided to do a video about another really young talented guy, and this time we will be talking about Tim Stützle, the guy from Germany who is playing for Ottawa Senators. Tim Stützle, compared to Kirill Kaprizov, is a little bit younger, 4 years younger. As you can see, Tim Stützle was born only on the 15th of January 2002, so he's actually younger than I am. And he was born in Viersen in Germany, as I have said earlier. His weight currently, again guys, I'm very sorry about this, but I have these measures in the European values, so I don't have them in North American. So in European we say that he's 85 kilograms. His weight is 85 kilograms basically. That's actually pretty good, considering he is still only 19 years old. His height is 185 centimeters, so he is actually, compared to Kirill Kaprizov, approximately 10 centimeters higher. He shoots left, he is left wing. Once again, same as Kirill Kaprizov. Also, Kirill Kaprizov tends to play on the left wing. Tim Stützle, of course, drafted just this former draft in the year 2020. He was drafted in the first round by the Senators and he was third overall. Of course, number one pick Alexis Lafreniere, number two Quentin Byfield, and number three was Tim Stützle, who went to Ottawa Senators. What about his stats? Well, I decided to put here only the stats from the DEL, which is the German men's league where he played last season, the stats from the World Juniors, and the stats, of course, from the current season of the NHL. So when you look at DEL, which is the men's hockey league in Germany, he played there in the season 2019-2020, and he was playing for the team Adler Mannheim, where he played 41 games. He scored 7 goals, added 27 assists, so that was a grand total of 34 points. In the plus-minus category, he had +4 penalty minutes, 12 penalty minutes for Stützle in the first season between the men. So actually this was a pretty darn good season for Tim Stützle between the men. 41 games played, 34 points. Considering that also in Germany you don't see players really scoring like 2 points per game like currently Connor McDavid. So according to European leagues, these stats are pretty good. So yeah, he was just, as you can see, he was 2002. So at the beginning of this season, which of course finished earlier because of the COVID pandemic, he was still only 17 years old. So these grand totals are just very good. And of course, this was Tim Stützle's very big advantage compared, for example, to Alexis Lafreniere. And this may be also why Alexis Lafreniere is really not doing that well in this season of the NHL. Because Tim Stützle was playing between men at the German Hockey League, right? So DEL, which is Deutsche Erste League, or something like that. So really he had a great advantage compared to Alexis Lafreniere and also some other guys from the North America, from the US National Team Development Program, for example. So yeah, that was his advantage, and also this was advantage, of course, obviously, of Kirill Kaprizov, who has played 6 seasons in the KHL before he went to Minnesota, to United States. So again, Tim Stützle, Kirill Kaprizov, all these guys which are coming from Europe, they have, for the most part, they have a big advantage compared to North American players that they used to be playing between the men, right? So when they come to NHL, they are used to facing players who are heavier than them, who are bigger than them, who are stronger than them. And yeah, maybe like, you know, the quality of players in the German Hockey League is not as high as in some kind of Canadian juniors, but still it is arguable. But definitely I think that he was playing against older guys, is an additional value that he can definitely use in this season of the NHL. So this was in Germany. Then he went, of course, to World Junior Championship. So players under 20 years old in 2020 or in 2021 respectively. He played obviously for a German team under 20. He played 5 games, he scored 0 goals, but he added 5 assists, so he was averaging a point per game in the German team, which was pretty good. In the plus-minus category, he had -2. In penalty minutes, he had 2 penalty minutes over there. So we all know, or if you do not know, then Germany really have had some very big problems in the junior championship because they have had some positive cases of the coronavirus in their team. So basically, I do believe they had only 2 formations or 2 lines during the majority of the championship. So really, it was very hard. Tim Stützle was averaging maybe even 30 minutes per game. So even that shows you how well physically he is prepared for the NHL. And what about the NHL season, right? His first NHL season this year in Ottawa. He started the season as 18-year-old, and obviously this is what interests us the most, the NHL season. So in 2020-2021, so far for the Senators, he played in 30 games. He scored 6 goals and added 12 assists. That's a grand total of 18 points, which is pretty solid. He's not scoring at that rate as is Kirill Kaprizov, for example, who's averaging almost point per game, but still 18 points in 30 games played, considering he's playing for the Senators, which really currently they have not that strongest team in the league, to be honest. That's pretty solid. That's really good. And he's also producing on the power play, which is also a very important factor. And he is very, very good on the power plays. He can pass that puck, he can shoot that puck. So he's very valuable also as a power play player, which can in the future play in his favor, definitely. So in the plus-minus category, so far this season he has -14, which obviously we have to take into consideration that that's Ottawa, which is currently last in the Canadian division. So yeah, Ottawa just allows a lot of goals, or they allow a lot more goals than they score. So that's just the main reason why Tim Stützle has -14. That's just not like he is playing really bad and he's not defending, right? That's just because it is Ottawa, right? And penalty minutes. Penalty minutes, he has 10 penalty minutes so far this season, so he has 5 2-minute minor penalties in 30 games, so that's pretty solid. He's really not spending that much time in the penalty box, which is also very beneficial. When you are talking about these young players, sometimes they tend to really make a lot of fouls and sit in that penalty box a lot, but so far it has not been the case of Tim Stützle. I just really, guys, down here you can see, I wanted to basically divide so far this season in terms of Tim Stützle into several segments, just to show you that he really is not consistent in his play, that sometimes he has a very good set of games, sometimes he's not scoring, so it's really like a flip-flop, right? Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, a lot of high and lows this season, so I wanted to demonstrate this on the division of this season so far for Tim Stützle. So first 6 games of the season, Tim Stützle, in these first 6 games, he had a great start to the season. He registered 4 points, 1 goal and 3 assists. Then another 3 games after that, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points. Then came just great 8 games. In these 8 games, Tim Stützle had 1 goal, 7 assists. He was averaging a point per game during these 8 games. This was one of his best games right after another, right? One of his best series during the whole season. But then, after these 8 points in 8 games, he played 5 games without a single point. So as you can see here, 4 points in the first 6 games, then came 3 games without a point, 8 games with 8 points, then 5 games without a point. So even here you can see not that good consistency, but that's just what you expect from these young players, right? Then in another 3 games he registered 5 points, so this was also a very good series for him. He registered 3 goals in 3 games and added 2 assists. so he was averaging over a point at this segment. And then in last 5 games played, again in the last 5 games it was not the best from Team Stützle, 0 goals, 1 assist, 1 point. So 1 point in 5 games. He can do better than that, and I am expecting him to pick up some another points in some good series in the next few games. So this is so far this season for Team Stützle, the basic stats. And Ottawa must be happy with their pick, 3rd overall. Currently, Team Stützle seems to be a better player than Alexis Lafrenière, for example, right? But only the time will tell us if really Lafrenière will be that big star which we all expected him to be. He was set to be the next superstar since Connor McDavid himself. So we'll see if Lafrenière starts to pick up some points, if he really would live up to all the expectations and all the hype, or if Tim Stützle from the 3rd place in the draft would be a better player at the end of their careers, but they still have a lot of years left to play, hopefully, in the National Hockey League. And we, as the hockey fans, have still a lot of years ahead of us to watch these players and their just great plays, highlight real goals, etc., etc. But guys, as you can see down here, I have other players. I decided to name it Young Guns of Ottawa Senators. So down here, I just wanted to show that in terms of Ottawa, not everything is so pessimistic as it may seem, right? We know that last season very bad for the Senators, even before that very bad for the Senators. But the future, guys, honestly looks pretty bright for the Sens, and I would not be surprised if the Senators, let's say the next season, if they will be pushing for that playoff spot, right? And in 3 years, who knows, they can be a real big contender for the Stanley Cup, because they have a pretty darn good young players coming up. So let's talk about other young players when we exclude Tim Stützle that are currently on the Ottawa Senators roster. The first of them that I chose is Drake Batterson. Drake Batterson currently, he's age 22 years old. He has played this season in 33 games. He scored 11 goals. He really had a very good goal scoring series, and he added 10 assists. That's 21 points in 33 games. These are very solid numbers for Drake Batterson, and he has been definitely very solid this season. So definitely I'm looking forward to see how Batterson's career would go forward from right now, basically. Then the second very good player is Josh Norris, the defender. Josh Norris, he's age only 21 years old. He has played so far 33 games this season. He has 7 goals, 10 assists. That's 17 points for the defender of Ottawa Senators. These are very solid numbers. Then the third player, of course, Brady Ketchum. We all know that Brady Ketchum is a very solid player, even from the last years. What is very interesting with Brady Ketchum is that he is almost leading the NHL in the hits and also in the shots per game. So really, he's extremely active on the ice. He's a very solid player. He's a very active player. He has a great speed. He has a great determination, a great will. As we all know, Matthew Tkachuk and Brady Ketchum, they can also fight. They could, they could very provocate other players on the ice, so they are very valuable for their teams. So Brady Ketchum, so far this season, and remember, he's still only 21 years old. So he has played 33 goals, scored 11 goals, added 11 assists. He has so far 22 points. So a very good season also for Brady Ketchum. Right? And Colin White. Also, I have here Colin White at the very bottom. He's 24 years old. And actually, what I found out was that Colin White was born at the exactly same day as Thomas Chabot. So I found that just extremely interesting, right? I do believe Colin White was born on 30th of January 1997 probably. So actually also Thomas Chabot was born on 30th of January 1997. So I just found this extremely interesting that they were born on the exactly same date. And Colin White, so far this season, like he is 24 years old. Again, he's not as young as these other guys or as Tim Stützle is, but I think we could still consider him to be a fairly young player. So he's 24 years old, same as Thomas Chabot. So far this season for the Colin White, 30 games played, 4 goals scored, 16 assists. That's a grand total of 20 points. Thomas Chabot, on the other hand, his age, once again, as I have said earlier, they were born at the exactly same date. So Thomas Chabot, also 24 years of age. He has scored, in 28 games, he has registered so far 8 goals, added 6 assists. That's a grand total of 14 points. So also very solid for Thomas Chabot. So as you can see, in Ottawa, it's not everything only about Tim Stützle, who is currently, I would say, probably the biggest hype in the Ottawa Senators. And but it is also about these other guys. Actually, I have written here 5 guys. Drake Batterson, 22 years of age. Josh Norris and Brady Ketchum, both of them 21 years of age. And Colin White and Thomas Chabot, 24 years of age. And also we have there Eric Brandstrom, of course, and some other very solid young players as well in Ottawa. So Ottawa's, watch out, because in next few years, in 2 years, in 3 years, Ottawa could be a really strong team. Once again, they are definitely rebuilding very quickly, and I could see some very big excitement in the capital city of Canada in the next few years. So yeah, this video is at the end, guys. This was about Tim Stützle, but also about some other players from the Senators. As I have said earlier, 85 kilos for Tim Stützle, 195 centimeters, left wing, drafted first round overall, first round by Ottawa in 2020, third pick overall after Alexis Lafreniere and Quinton Byfield. First season between the men played at the Dell in Germany for Adler Mannheim, 34 points in 41 games played. In the World Juniors, he had played 5 games, he scored 5 points for 5 assists, averaging a point per game in the very by coronavirus decimated Germany squad. And in the NHL, so far this season for the Senators, Tim Stützle played in 30 games, scored 18 points. So that's it for Tim Stützle, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, guys, please subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me, guys, as I'm trying to grow this channel. And yeah, thank you very much for all your support, guys, after the last video of Kirill Kaprizov. I really appreciate it, guys. It really means a lot to me, and it makes me to keep grinding in this my work. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay safe in these very tough and challenging times, and I will see you guys probably quite soon. Maybe even today I will release another video from the NHL. Maybe, guys, I will manage to do it, because it's Friday, so I don't have to learn for the school for tomorrow. So maybe I have a little bit of time to do another NHL video today. Once again, guys, thank you very much for all your support. You are just great, guys, and hope you stay safe. And please, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys, for now, and see you soon. Bye, guys.